So welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're asking the question, will the metaverse pop in Q1 of 2023? This could well be a rhetorical question. If the markets continue in the same vein in which they've started this year, eventually all market sectors will break out. But what we're going to have a little look at is a few coins that I'm very much interested in and I'm tracking. I think there's a lot of trading opportunities within this market sector, but we're going to look at the big boys who may provide the signal for this rotation into this kind of metaverse pump that we are hopefully going to get very soon. So let's start here just on CoinGecko. $10 billion is the market cap of Metaverse. We know a lot more money than that has been poured into creating these metaverses, whether it be in the likes of Sandbox, Decentraland, Wilder Worlds, Facebook with Meta, Animoca brands throwing money out left, right, and center. There's tons and tons of capital in this market sector. And I think it is just a matter of time before we start seeing some of these red numbers turn very much green. So let's have a little look at some of these big boys here. So primarily, are there any things to be worried about in terms of token unlocks and things along that nature? Starting here with Sandbox, they actually had a token unlock just 3 days ago. That was on Valentine's Day. They had a big unlock, which is around 12% of the total supply at that time. So the question is, did price budge during that period? And the answer really is no. It didn't really do anything to the price. So kind of a bullish token unlock, if you will. And if we just look through this from Being Crypto, they painted a very negative picture around this. The Sandbox is going to unlock 372 more million tokens over the coming years, 2 years in total, in fact, and the SAM price lost 7% in 1 week. But I think a lot of that was the fear going into the unlock, but the actual unlock itself didn't actually provide to be a dump fest. So that is kind of bullish in a way. And then on the chart, if I direct your attention to this big red wick here around a week ago, that was on the 8th of February, it actually spiked up to around 90 odd cents. And this is when I originally did a video thinking there was going to be a metaverse breakout. That was around this news, which was Saudi Arabia, the actual government, partners with the Sandbox for future metaverse plans. So in terms of an image in just itself here, pretty crazy to see. Leap 2023 conference in Saudi Arabia. Sandbox representatives here taking photos with individuals from the Saudi government. So a country that in Western media, especially where I'm from, is seen as dangerous. They have values that aren't in keeping with the current ways in which people are living, etc. All these kind of things that I've been brought up to know about Saudi Arabia. Well, they're embracing the bloody metaverse here, whilst you have Gensler protecting people from staking coins on Kraken. Kind of a crazy time to be alive here and to be witnessing. And what do we know about Saudi Arabia? They have a shitload of oil money as well. So this is definitely a very bullish catalyst for the metaverse. And it does seem like Sandbox will have a lot of investment coming into whatever it brings out, as they are partnered here with the official government of Saudi Arabia. So that is something bullish to keep tabs on and see what comes from the Sandbox with this. Sandbox also heavily invested in by Animoca brands. Animoca brands are a running theme in the whole metaverse sector. You will want to stay up to date with any podcasts the likes of Yatsu does over the coming months. Decentraland's Mana here, no major unlocks coming and no major news that I can really find out. ApeCoin, however, has a big unlock coming in March. Typically, teams like to pump things before unlocks. And what do you know? Other Side, their metaverse, is due for like the season 2 release very soon. And I've seen the March date being slated in various places. So they could well try and do a bit of a pumperino into this unlock. 4% of supply coming out on the 17th of March. So 1 month from today. That would be rather interesting. Other Side itself has been one of the biggest selling NFT collections of all time. They have the Other Deeds, the kind of land within this Other Side's metaverse. Currently 100,000 plots have been sold. There will be 200,000 in total. So this could essentially be another big catalyst on the agenda. ApeCoin as well is the token of choice for this metaverse. So we could see some big stuff from Yuga Labs with Other Side coming out. And we've seen a load of like trailers and stuff around games and bits from these guys. The Twitter feed on here is actually pretty cool. They've got interviews here with Timberland, who has his own plots, I believe, and is well invested into the metaverse here on Other Side. And I like the developments that have been going on here. They do look pretty cool. I know a lot of people are bummed about all the gas fees and things that the minting process of the Other Deeds actually incurred, but it's well worth keeping tabs on these big players, as these are the high cap altcoins within this sector, which would be able to break out the whole sector. If they start to put in some major pumps, everything else will start to follow. So moving on, we have Animoca brands. These guys have invested in everything. CEO Yatsu is a gigabrain. He is also now a billionaire after 2021's run, and he just sprays and prays and invests in everything. As he sees it, investing in metaverse gaming NFTs is just net beneficial for everyone. I was listening to a podcast he was on last week, and he says they invest in things not with necessarily the aim of making money from these, but just for the fact they want to support this ecosystem as a whole, and they have the funds to do it. So if we just go through their feed here, you'll see one of the coins I am bullish on down here, and that is this, High Street. So they just tweeted this out earlier. Are you ready for an adventure in the Animoca archipelago? As you see the islands here, well, pack your bags and buckle up because we're headed into the High Street world metaverse for some serious fun. High Street is a Chinese-based metaverse project, and it is backed by the likes of Animoca and Binance. So this is one to have on the radar. And this is one of the coins I am tracking here, as I do think it can go on a good run if we do see this sector really pick up. Currently around $3, fully diluted valuation 300 million. The actual circulating is about 1/3, so it's around $100 million current valuation. You can actually see some of the metaverse here.
Island, actually,
I'll mute her a sec. So this is essentially this kind of like Polynesian vibe here in this metaverse piece. High Street is essentially the kind of crossroads between physical and digital items being bought and sold online. So it's a metaverse you enter into, but you can buy actual products. So one of the things on here is this kind of wine store that I spent an hour in this metaverse earlier, and there is a wine bar in here, and you can connect obviously your wallet. Then you can buy the wine digitally, so you get the NFT, but they also ship the wine to your house as well. So it's kind of this intersection between physical items and digital items. It's a Chinese build, and it is super interesting in my opinion. This guy, Scope Protocol, gets it. January 28th, CZ claimed that Binance are more open to investing in other metaverse games or VR companies, i.e. they don't want to build something themselves. They want to invest in the ecosystem around them, and the Binance-backed metaverses, one of these being this, High Street. So this is certainly bullish in my mind. And another one here that has some pretty crazy price action is Hooked Protocol. The ticker is Hooked. This is kind of a gamified learning experience. So social learning, I think this is something that could really take off. And by some of the stats that I've seen with this, the fully diluted valuation is 1.3 billion, but according to CoinMarketCap data, which is obviously owned by Binance, so it may be a lot more accurate than CoinGecko, which isn't quoting anything, I believe it's around 50 million tokens, so around a tenth, $130 million. Now this one's interesting for a few reasons. You can see from the DApp radar chart here, they posted some crazy numbers previously. So this was back at the end of November. They had unique active wallets, 460,000, doing over 500,000 transactions over a few days there. So this one has this kind of referral scheme where you create your own kind of social web, you refer others, they come and download the app and play along. And it's all about learning new experiences and things to do with Web3. So this is very good for Web3 adoption overall. They say their mission remains the same. We would like to be the on-ramp player for Web3 massive adoption. Our focus for the year of 2023 is to iterate on the fundamentals that have led to our milestone successes. So they did actually have over 1 million wallets active at one single stage. Primarily, it's really big in the likes of Africa and Indonesia. Having spent some time in Indonesia over the last year, I could easily see firsthand how mobile apps for either games or this kind of social learning could absolutely moon if done correctly. And clearly this has kind of some of the numbers behind it to suggest it can do that again. And they have like 100,000 active wallets currently as well. People in these regions are mobile centric only. And in terms of like a Westerner's view on this, I think people are on their phones too much here in the UK. You go over to Southeast Asia, people are literally glued to their phones. They might be working things like security jobs or attending to mopeds, that kind of stuff, but they're all just sat there playing games and watching mobile stuff all day long. So huge addressable market, one again I'm very bullish on, and this is also a Chinese-based team. There was a few issues around the token pumping and dumping a little bit, and the community called them out in December saying, were they the reason why this happened? And this was the answer. They actually decided to lock up team tokens for even longer to prove that they are in this for the long run. And essentially they're saying, look, we're locking our team tokens up for a 1-year cliff plus an additional 60-month release schedule. I mean, what's there not to be bullish on about this? Clearly the builders are going to build. In their recent blog post as well, they just released an avatar collection, but in the blue highlight down here, Hooked Academy. I mean, ChatGPT is great and all, but what if I was to tell you we are preparing something better, a virtual Web3 tutor with human emotions and bodily and facial expressions based on ChatGPT, powered by sentient AI technology. I'll just leave that there. That would then cover a few big bases: AI and metaverse. So you may be asking yourself, why am I looking primarily at Chinese-based projects and teams? Well, put simply, since the start of this year, it's been very obvious that there is a lot of Chinese-based bid, and the coins that are produced and backed by Binance and have Chinese teams are the ones that are primarily outperforming in the market. So we're going to go where the money is. Noodle of Binance tweeted this: why the crypto rally when the US is undergoing a massive fiscal tightening? He says, this is because China just reopened from its 3-year COVID lockdown and is currently undergoing unprecedented QE, just like the US did in 2020, just 3 years behind. Google Chinese stimulus, you will see that these guys are out in force spending big right now, and I think this is one of the key drivers why the crypto industry is picking up yet again. New year, the year of the rabbit, and China is here making a very big noise here for the crypto space. You're seeing positive acceptance of it in Asia and China, and a rejection of it in the West. The West is currently broke and the East is just coming out and providing QE, and everyone's having a good time again. So I think you can see the thesis here that we try and back these Chinese protocols. So let me know down below in the comment section, do you agree with this analysis? Have you noticed that the Chinese coins are far outperforming the Western coins? And do you think this is the driving force for the market right now? Subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.